So this person asks what my if I could talk about my experience with the 1995 Chicago heat wave. And let me tell you something. You want to talk about bad fucking timing? That was bad fucking timing. For those of you that don't know, Chicago had a horrible heat wave in July of 1995, where I think I don't know how many. I think it's over 700 people died that month as a result of the heat. We were on tour following the Dead. I had been following the Grateful Dead since fall of '92, and the last Grateful Dead show with Jerry Garcia was July 9th, 1995 at Soldier Field. We were in town because we were following the Dead, and because we were from the Chicagoland area. Whenever they played Chicago, we didn't have to stay in our tent because we knew people in the Chicagoland area. We had family and friends, and we could stay, in a house with a shower and a regular bathroom. It was like we were real people. So we were staying at my buddy Jimmy's house in Cicero. The last show happened, and then they were taking a break before the fall tour begins. That's what the Grateful Dead always did. The Grateful Dead never went on tour in support of an album. They did a summer tour, a fall tour, a winter tour, and they took breaks in between. So this was the last show of the summer tour for '95. They were taking a break before going to the fall tour. And since it was in Chicago, and we knew people in the Chicagoland area, and we had a place to stay, we just we're gonna hang out in Chicago during the break. So the last show is July 9th, and we're hanging out at my buddy Jimmy's house. He got a part-time job splitting firewood with his brother, and I was just kind of like chilling at his house, and the heat was unbearable. They were literally stacking bodies in refrigerated semi-trailers outside of the city morgue because there were so many dead people. It was... You remember in the aftermath of 9/11, for a few days, nothing moved? It was like the whole damn world came to a standstill, or the country came to a standstill. That's what it was like in Chicagoland during that heat wave in '95. So many companies wouldn't even open their doors because nobody was going out. So many companies were just like, we're going to be closed for a little while until we get past this. I remember one of the distinct memories I have from the '95 heat wave was we would do our very best to stay inside. Jimmy was outside splitting firewood, so he was just getting fucking roasted. I would do my very best to stay inside during the day, and then at night we would go down to the city and we would hit the beaches because it was just too fucking hot to do anything during the day. And I remember being down at North Avenue Beach at like midnight, in the middle of the fucking week, and it was packed. It was wall to wall because everybody was coming out after the sun went down to try and get some relief at the lakefront. I have never before nor since seen Chicago beaches packed in the middle of the night the way they were during the '95 heat wave. Oh, it was so fucking bad. And then, of course, Jerry died the next month in August, and it was like, that was the end of our nomadic life. That's when I got a job in landscaping and started cutting grass. And I'll tell you something, I don't know that I would have gotten a job outdoors in that industry had it been the month before. Had I gotten a job in landscaping in July of '95 rather than in August of '95, I would have never stuck with landscaping. I would have been outside in that heat a couple of days and would have been like, fuck this shit, I'm out. It was horrendous. I've never experienced anything like that before in my life. And I don't think I've ever experienced, like, we went to Mexico in July, not last year, 2 years ago, I think it was, with the kids. We stayed at a resort along the beach there And it was only like 90, 91 degrees, but it was so humid I sweat through every one of my shirts halfway through the vacation. And even that wasn't as hot as the 95 Chicago heat wave. If you guys have an opportunity to look up some YouTube footage or read some articles about the 95 Chicago heat wave, do so. It was an insane period of time in Chicagoland. Literally stacking bodies in refrigerated trucks. It was fucking crazy.